Okay, this is day 569, and this first one I wanted to react to Crowdsource the Truth, this Hudson report that was put up. This is a very good rundown by Deep Uranium slash Mr. Hudson. Because I know the intelligence background, of this individual, plus the team, there's a team of 6 or 7, it grows, it changes, of 8, professionals that have had decades and decades of experience in Homeland Security, even before Homeland Security operations all over the world. They've seen the CIA and the alphabet soup agencies all over the world. That's where this expertise comes from. So Jason, at his channel, this is Crowdsource the Truth, I'm just showing a picture of it, put this up last night, and they discussed this panel, this informal, made to look like a hearing, maybe fake hearing, maybe something, whatever it was supposed to be. And Hudson reacts to this, and I think I loved his kind of critique of this. I don't think he knew this was Pat Sowers, and I know who Pat Sowers is, and Pat Sowers is basically the opposition. Pat Sowers is the person who is the salesman for iConstituent. I think Jason might remember when we went into Devin Nunes's office, or maybe I did that by myself, I can't remember which now, but I talked about the iConstituent software because I knew that was Inter-American before it was iConstituent. This is the basis of my lawsuit. And Inter-American was that company before. This is when you're a person in the audience and you call your congressman or you sign a petition or anything. You go to a local campaign event and you give your name, your email, you log a call, you go to a town hall, any place where you give your email, you go onto a website, you give money, you go into iConstituent. Well, that also, in the wrong hands, in aspiring in Congress, could make you a target. It could make you a target for, if let's say you're a Bernie supporter, it could make you a target for the Hillary folks to come after you, like we saw in the DNC type attacks with the Act Blues kind of phishing attacks and so forth. It also can make you a target if you are a large Republican donor, because now I can go after your farm, I can put somebody from another country into that farm, that type of thing. It can make you a financial target. And this goes across the board with all the different federal agencies using the government as a way, this kind of low intensity operation as a way of weakening the opposition. And there are, believe it or not, people out there that think like this. Okay, so iConstituent can be used in a very negative way. And that is why I am doing the lawsuit against iConstituent, because when you put aspiring in Congress and I'm not saying Pat Sowers put it aspiring in Congress, I'm just saying when you have somebody like Imran Awan working in iConstituent for 17 years with his connections to Rayo Abbas and Hina Alvi and the Alvi family and the Abbas family, going back all the way to this very violent tribe in the drug trading area of Kashmir, and the very violent CIA-supported Punjab police force that he loves to get escorts from. It's a very bad combination. And I agree with Mr. Hudson entirely. I just don't think he had all the facts on Sowers. But this is at best a cover-up. This is not a whistleblower. Obviously, didn't know anything at all. Both Jason and Hudson said he didn't know anything at all about IT. He is a salesman. Now, he's a good guy. He's a real estate salesman. I'm not trying to pick on Pat Sowers. But to put him at this table is an insult to the American people. It really is. The 3 people that should have been at this table, and some people say, maybe I should have been there, or Jason should have been there, and I agree with that. But the 3, I'm going to just use these 3 women as the examples here. The 3 whistleblowers from the chief administrator's office, the CAO's office, should have been in these 3 chairs, talking about how Imran intimidated them, threatened to kidnap them, was in the lunchroom talking about how he had people kidnapped in Pakistan and so forth. So I would watch this. Maybe the last 5 minutes of this, Hudson shows his true colors as a patriot, and he's upset at the situation. I get that. But really, up until 28 minutes, it's just, mostly just a very good critique So I still say that these three people, and I'm going to just use them as placeholders here for the chief administrator's office, is what we need to do in a real congressional hearing. Not this fake fundraiser, and then this is bordering on cover up here, having him sitting at that table. So. Then the other thing I just wanted to mention was Jason mentioned, hey, the only proof, of the Sprayer Street is, there's more proof that the server was at Sprayer, the server was at Hawkshead because of the router. I couldn't agree more that Sprayer needs more attention. I'm just going on the signatures. First of all, I know that the Soraya Begum had the house at Hawkshead going back to 2004. It was sold by the guy Mizra, who'd Gohar, remember Gohard, go or go home, Mizra, with the 60 tickets, an obvious diplomat and so forth. So there's just a lot longer history to Hawkshead being kind of the high-end spy, headquarters. Sprayer was only purchased by Hina Alvi in November 2014. So it just doesn't have that history. It looked a lot more like a honey trap place, or what I used to call a brownstone. I'm going to change now. I'm just going to say honey trap now. I don't have to explain what a brownstone is. Everybody knows what a honey trap is. But you had RAO Speedwagon and Boss there with the video equipment. You've got a lot of things to me where Imran's coming back and forth. Looks like, he's changing out video equipment, maybe drugs, maybe guns, maybe who knows what. I would weigh more in on the, changing the video equipment as video cards fill up, but I don't really know. And we need more investigation there. But that's why I've always been talking about Jaquea. That's why I've been talking about the Loretta Hendricks email. I think this is the key to the case, to drilling down on the case. So I hope I make that clear. I haven't closed myself off to 4809 Sprayer as being the key to this case. I just think that the signs of a spy server point to me to the Hawkshead, because it's been around so long, because Rayo Abbas is at the Lynette house. Wherever Rayo Abbas is and Imran are where the servers are, Abid and so forth. And I've got the Taggart interviews talking about people coming and going. So that's why I believe that's where the server was. I'm following the people, basically, following the equipment also that was there. But again, 4809, we got to follow the metadata. I couldn't agree with Jason more. You got to follow that Miss Jaquea at Yahoo address, and you got to follow the Loretta Hendricks at Gmail metadata. That is the key to the 4809, finding out what 4809 Sprayer was. But those are obviously the two key addresses. I would throw a third address in there now with Lynette, the Lynette home, because of the fact that our attorney here, the attorney involved in this case, it's been quoted by Luke Rosiak, and again, Luke doesn't publish the pictures of these people, so it's hard to verify whether they're real or fakes, right? He's quoted him. This is the first time that Pat Sowers has, come forward. But the attorney, which is this Crystal, what I call Crystal Blue Persuasion, Champagne Cherise Pepignon. Now her real name, I think, is just Crystal Cherise Pepignon. But anyway, I add the Crystal Blue Persuasion and the Champagne for a little color, just so you remember who she is. But that woman is living at Lynette. Lynette is the distance from, Tom Fitton here to the back of the room is the distance between these two houses, between Hawkshead and Lynette. It looks, now remember, let's say this is Crystal Blue Persuasion here. She's here and Raul Abbas is in the basement. They're feet away from each other. Over here is Imran's house with Abid and Jamal. I mean, they're all together in the very close circumstance. That's why I think it's spy headquarters. I think Sprayer, with Jaquea being there, Loretta Hendricks email being there, the router being there, it looks much more like a honey trap situation to me. Anyway, that's my reaction. But this is definitely a great thing to watch, because you really get an expert talking about how they missed a golden opportunity to talk about a spy ring in Congress. Golden opportunity to talk about a spy ring in Congress and did not do it. And that's the key here. All right, that's this morning's report.